Hey, I'm Hunt, and this is Hunt on LSU, your channel for LSU Fighting Tiger football talk. Enjoy the video. We want you to leave a comment below, hit that like button, and subscribe right below the video. Enjoy. Let's talk a little football, Glenn. I know you were out at Friday Night Lights, LSU's camp last week. You got a chance to look at a little bit of Bryce Underwood, and what was your impressions?
Yeah, I mean, look, he's the real deal. I know there's no pads, and it's very those kind of tournaments and things are very skewed to offensive players. But man, he looked the part. I mean, he was dropping in some really beautiful passes throughout the entire afternoon. He was accurate. He threw some deep balls. I mean, there was one pass that he connected with Harlem Berry on the 5-star running back commit, where Berry was did a nice job of getting some distance from his defensive back, but I mean the ball would have been placed just absolute in the perfect spot, even if Barry was covered by a defensive back over the top. I mean it was just a beautifully perfected pass, and Harlem Berry had some really strong moments in this camp as well. JT Lindsey, John David LaFleur was out there. Teron Francis, they had pretty much all of their offensive skill position players that are committed out there, catching balls from Underwood with, Joe Sloan looking on the entire way. So it was a really productive afternoon, really interesting, kind of ordeal there to be able to get guys that are already committed to be able to perform in a camp like that. I think it's really good for the staff to see those guys, start to get some early connections built in that way. So yeah, very beneficial to just get Underwood down here, and we'll see if it has any trickle down effect on some future recruits here.
What makes Harlem Berry special?
Yeah, I mean, look, I've you see the tape, you see him perform live in games, and the speed is one thing, but I've just really been enamored by his catching ability. I mean, we saw it, a little bit back with the team flow when they went out to Orlando to compete in the 7-on-7 tournament earlier this offseason. And he comes back with this camp this past weekend, and you could probably line him up in the slot and you wouldn't even know he was a running back. I mean, he's that good of a catcher, and I think he's only going to get better from here in terms of his pass catching ability. So very multi-dimensional player. Somebody that I think LSU is going to be able to put on the field early in his career, and he'll be able to, make some things happen for him. So very impressed with Harlem Berry, and obviously he's got to get through this senior season here, but really like, the talent that they're bringing in there, that running back position. They really help complement what they already have in some young guys like Caden Durham, Caleb Jackson, and certainly with what they got with JT Lindsey as well.
Big weekend on the recruiting trail, and got some commitments, and had one defection that we talked with Sonny yesterday, and he said that he actually thinks that Jabari Antoine will probably wind up back in the class. But what's your biggest takeaway from the weekend in recruiting?
Yeah, I mean, I really liked the two pickups they got in the trenches with Kern and Jesse Harold too. I mean, those are two guys that are going to be anchors on the opposite side of the ball for LSU. I mean, I think Kern is a guy that can slide in as a future tackle, has some versatility to play inside if he wants. But then also you've got the edge rusher in Jesse Harold, who we have as a top 10 edge guy for this upcoming class. They're very much in the mix for Damian Shanklin as well, who's another edge. So if you get those two, those are two top 10 edge rushers that you could be welcoming into your class here for 2025, which is a really great start for Kevin Peoples. They're still obviously working on some interior defensive linemen. I think a couple of those decisions are coming here very soon. One guy to keep an eye out for is Zion Williams, not Williamson, Zion
Right.
Williams. So he's going to be a defensive tackle. He's supposed to commit here on July the 4th. So could be some more fireworks for LSU's class popping off here before the summer ends.
What's coming up on Go 24/7? I know it's a slow-ish time of year until we get to media days, but what you got working the next couple of weeks?
Yeah, certainly we'll continue following the baseball off season. Having some analysis pieces on guys that are already committed to part of that class or part of this upcoming roster. We'll continue to hit the recruiting trail hard, just because it's a dead period coming up in recruiting. That doesn't mean we can't reach out to recruits and get kind of their thoughts as they kind of wind down on their decisions. So we'll have plenty of coverage on recruiting, some baseball off-season stuff, and looking ahead here to the 2024 season. We'll actually get a chance to talk with Garrett Nussmeier later this week at the Manning Passing Academy, so that'll be fun. Kind of getting his thoughts from the off season and what LSU's been up to this summer.
We appreciate some time, man. Thanks, Glenn.
All right, thanks, Hunt.
He's Glen West, senior writer over at Go 24/7. All your team coverage, all your recruiting coverage. He's got you covered. Hey, thanks for watching Hunt on LSU. Before you get out of here, do us a couple of favors. Hit that like button, leave your comments below, and subscribe to the channel for all your Fighting Tiger football talk. See you next time.